So I'm here with Andrew and Mark, two of the Three Musketeers. They've just finished their keynote here at Develop. Gentlemen, can I ask you, what were you talking about for those who haven't seen it yet?
We were talking about the past and the future. Is that fair?
Yes, I think we were talking about some of the history of PlayStation, more specifically Mark and my involvement in the history of the platforms to date, and really trying to get a little bit of a window into, what goes into making a platform, and also, how our skill sets have come to play in PlayStation's history.
And just before we go into history, let's just talk about the moment. You've obviously just launched PlayStation 4. Mark, you were the architect. Andrew, you've led the team that's launched it. It's done incredibly well. You must be very happy.
Yeah, it's been well beyond our wildest expectations, just in terms of the way that consumers have embraced it. Mostly, I think, in the way that developers have embraced the new platform, and a lot of the work that I think Mark did in getting them to engage early on in the platform's design to create a platform that's really easy to make great experiences on seems to have borne fruit.
And Mark, your experience, your take on the whole PlayStation 4 and its reception so far?
I mean, as a gamer, it's great. I did have a goal to play a different game every week this year. Work has intruded a little bit, but I'm close to that. There's some really fun stuff out there right now.
And let's just talk about the history, and the two of you have the history. Mark, last year here you introduced, you did your presentation where you looked back at your career and you talked about the Three Musketeers. So just if I got the two of you together, just talk about when you met, and where was it when the two Musketeers first met?
It turns out I'd forgotten, which is very embarrassing. Andy had to remind me, but we met Crash Bandicoot days.
That's right. I was running marketing in the US at the time, and we developed this ridiculous advertising concept for Crash Bandicoot with a guy in a suit, but the joke being that you could see his face in the suit and he was shouting through a megaphone. And I went down to LA to pitch Mark on this idea that this was the way that we were going to bring his baby to market.
And his reaction was?
I think I liked it.
Cautious approval, I think.
Is that right?
Was the
That
takeaway
certainly
from the meeting.
It worked out pretty well, though. That ad was crazy.
Yeah.
And in terms of your relationship, how key has that been in bringing PlayStation 4 to market?
I mean, I look at it as, if I'm doing my job, I need to be a bit disruptive internally. Certainly, if the decisions are all easy to make, then we're probably not making the right decisions given how fast technology changes. Hence the need for a very strong relationship here if we're going to get the right product out to the marketplace.
I think it's been great where Mark has been able to challenge the status quo and challenge the organisation. And then my role is to act somewhat as a counterbalance to that and see, which aspects of this we embrace and we need to change, but where we need to retain the sort of core that is SCE and retain the good parts of the way that we do things. But it's been very easy, I think, in part just given the length of relationship that we've had, that you can have a very forthright, very open discussion and get much more quickly to the right answer than you would do otherwise.
And Mark, how would you sum up your relationship?
I think quite good. I mean, we've been working together since about 18 years ago now. Hard to believe it's that long. Yeah. There was a bit of a hiatus in the middle when Andy went off to be Chief Marketing Officer of Sony Corp, the mothership. But certainly it's so much easier to talk if you have that much history together.
And in terms of success so far with PlayStation 4, what is the latest on how well it's done?
Well, I think the latest numbers that we've put out there was 7 million units worldwide as of the beginning of April. And to put that into perspective, our original goal was 5 million units sold into retail. Those 7 million units have been sold through to consumers. And the momentum is sustaining itself. I think it was having a great holiday season is one thing, but to just see a sort of continual cadence of sales in all of our major markets is just really, really gratifying. And it says a lot to me about the power of very deep immersive game experiences, but also packaged together in a platform that's a great general entertainment device as well.
And here at Develop, Morpheus is here. And it's going to be the first time a lot of people are going to get a chance to get hands-on with it. So just tell us what actually is here that people are going to be able to see.
I think we've got several of the initial demos just to really, show people the range of experiences. Some of them are more game-related than others. One is more of an undersea exploration. It's less of a game. It's more of a little bit more of a linear experience. But what we're really trying to give people is a glimpse into the power of this sense of presence, of being really in a virtual environment. And I hope that people will walk away with at least the sense of what the potential for this new medium, this new platform can be.
Mark, VR gaming for you, is it... actually, before I go to it, some people don't get on with VR gaming, do they? Some people don't find the experience of headsets quite disorientating. How are you with it?
Well, that's all the design of whatever it is that you're doing. I mean, if your point of view is moving freely with no relationship to what your head is doing, then yes, I mean, a lot of people get sick. But if the experience is structured so that really your presence in the virtual world is the primary thing, very few people have issues with that kind of game.
And every bit of hardware needs a killer app, a killer bit of software that everyone wants to go for. It needs a Sonic. Any ideas what's the killer app going to be for Morpheus?
I think we're working on it right now.
And the full details of that then are?
I think that the challenge with this is because it's a whole different way of experiencing not just games but other kinds of experiences as well. It's almost a nice problem to have, in that since we've unveiled Morpheus, we're seeing such a variety of creative impulses and things that people want to do with it. People coming out of movie studios and not just confined to games. I think the challenge is going to be sort of to narrow that down to, if not one killer app, but a set of killer apps that are going to demonstrate the full purpose of this kind of medium. You
may not be able to name names or anything, but have either of you seen something which you think may be it?
I think that we're still a little too early in the process. I mean, to be very clear, the product that we're demonstrating is by no means the final experience. What we learned, and Mark was a huge part of this on PlayStation 4, was that the earlier that you can engage development teams, even in this case with product that is not finalized, the better opportunity you've got to have a variety of those experiences. I think what's most encouraging is just the degree of enthusiasm there is in the development community for virtual reality right now. A lot of people working things, essentially in their spare time, because they're passionate about where they think it would be. And I think it'll be a matter, as we usually do, of exploring a broad variety of experiences and then narrowing it down to things that we think can be, really spectacular.
And you just go back to your speech today, your conference. You talked about the future of gaming, which is always an interesting one to speculate on. Can you just summarise what you did speculate as to what is the future of gaming?
Well, I think it's very hard to tell where technology is going to take us. I mean, if you look back when PlayStation 3 launched, we didn't have tablets. If you look back when PlayStation 2 launched, we didn't have portable MP3 players. We didn't have smartphones. I mean, there's going to be some disruptive technology that's almost guaranteed to come in during the PS4 years. And so it's very hard to say where we're heading even 6 or 8 years out. Having said that, I think we have an organization that's ready for the challenge. It's just difficult to get on stage and make predictions.
I take it from that somebody asked you to talk about the future then.
We billed the talk, unfortunately, we hadn't, but somebody had, as the next 100 years. And when we sat down,
yes.
I know 2 or 3.
I think that was a little bit of a surprise for all of us.
Maybe 4 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I pointed out a couple of things. I think that streaming is a new distribution medium, very technically challenging, but has the potential, the sense of instant gratification that people have got from streaming technologies. That's going to play a part, I think, in the gaming ecosystem in some way, shape, or form. We've already talked about virtual reality as a whole other way of storytelling, of putting people inside the story. And beyond that, I I think just, and this is more of a personal view, there's a range of sort of development that's going on in sensor technology, whether it's related to health monitoring or these other aspects, and you're going to see a point where these sensor technologies get down to a physical size and also a low cost element that they could be part of a mass market entertainment experience. What that looks like and how that's going to take off, I think, remains to be seen, but it's something I'm very excited about.
So we're talking, is that biometrics and kind of...
Yeah, biometric sensors, haptic sensors, giving you physical feedback on games in a way that you've never had before. I think that there's an area of exploration there to happen.
Right. Okay, watch the space. Tonight is the Developer Awards. I understand that both of you are pretty strongly involved.
Yes, I'm getting
it's fair to say, isn't it?
More than me.
I'm getting the Development Legend Award tonight.
And excited?
Yeah, it should be great.
And I understand there may be, don't mention any details, but there may be certain members, some people in the audience that are going to be quite key for you.
Oh,
don't make any details.
You don't want any details?
Don't make
okay,
any
we'll
details,
skip
just
details.
yes or no.
Yes, it's true.
It's true.
It's
Fantastic.
true.
Okay, gentlemen, well, enjoy the rest of your Brighton experience, and thank you for talking to us.
Thanks very much.